All right. We are back with another Grizz Culture podcast hosted by me, C. Micah, my homeboy MKJ over there, and my brother JB to the far right or far left, however you're looking at it. JB is here.
However you're looking at it.
Man, we is
Seems like
good.
it's not as clear as everybody else, but I'm here. You know what I'm saying?
They would have never known, brother.
I know,
That's a
right?
lie. That's a lie. That's cap.
That's
But no. Hey, we all back again, man, for the first time in a long time. But hey, man, it's good to be back. Before we even get started digging into it, man, please do what you see on the screen right now and hit that like and subscribe button so you'll know when we are recording here on the Grizz Culture podcast. We will be dropping as game recaps as well as just the podcast version what we got tonight, man, or today or whatever, whenever you watching it, what we got.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. First things first, man. Let's talk about some of the recent games. We're gonna look back. We had the San Antonio game where the Grizz came back from a 29-point deficit. Man, what did y'all think about that? Because the Tigers was on at the same time, and honestly, I was watching the Tigers because I thought they was about to win, but that's for another podcast. Because Jesus,
boy.
but
Exactly.
I thought the Grizz had lost, dog, and they came back, worked a miracle, man.
Yeah, I pretty much thought the same thing. I was watching the Tigers game, and actually, I was about to flip it on. I think who was in the chat, maybe one of my coworkers hit me up because he don't like the Grizzlies. He ain't from around here, and so he was like, "Man, y'all down by 30, y'all suck or something like that. Y'all down by 30." Then I think
Just
y'all
rubbing it
put
in.
some, yeah. Then y'all put something in the chat, and it was like, man, it looked like it was over with. So I was like, I wasn't tuning in until I just flipped it over there real quick. I think it was a commercial break on the game.
Yeah.
Then I saw we kept coming back, and so I was like, that was you know what I mean? Honestly, I just thought it was like one of them games that we would have just fell flat and just let that game be. It's just like, okay, we lost this game and let it be over with. So
yeah.
But I thought it was crazy, that bench, boy. I don't know if we talk about the bench, but the bench went crazy. Big
Shout out
Lofton
to
went off.
Luke Man.
Yeah.
Everybody said Luke man.
Luke Man.
Okay.
But the bench and everything went off. It was San Antonio, like they suck. Like we know that. We know what they trying to do. They trying to get Victor, you know what I'm saying, the 7'5" guy. So
Wembanyama.
Right. I know I hate to say
The
that.
sweepstakes.
Yeah.
Right. So they're trying to get him. So they literally don't have nothing to really play for. And I think that was, I think I put in the chat, I think that's one of the most impressive wins we had because all the stuff that I mentioned, just like we could have laid down, be like, hey, just ain't our night. They hitting, they doing this. We got two other games in 3 days, and so it could have been easy for us to lay down. And so we kind of came through and really, although it still was San Antonio, I was like, that was one of the most impressive wins and comebacks of the year.
I agree.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
I think for me, what made it most impressive was the fact that we won the next game. And so I think seeing that we won literally the next day, had to travel, get back home, and then we took care of business against the Warriors. To me, that made the Spurs victory that much sweeter, in my opinion. And it was really for the same reasons. I mean, the bench played well, even when I remember when the Spurs had made a slight run in the fourth quarter, they had got up 13. I said, oh, yeah, okay, I think the Grizzlies, I think this is it. They fought hard, but sometimes you just hit that wall, and it's hard to climb up that 29-point deficit. And so I said, after that, all right, well, we fought well. Let's go back to these Memphis Tigers. And that was it for me. And then I said, well, the Tigers, they kind of messing with my emotions. So let me just see what's going on back to the Grizzlies.
Said Tigers too many times, dog. Anytime you say Tigers, I'm just shaking my head. And then, like I said, that's another day. That's another. Oh, but yeah, go ahead. My bad.
Jesus, go ahead.
Flashbacks.
And you know what? It was funny too is the referees were terrible at the Spurs game.
Yes,
they were bad in that game. I didn't understand the officiating at all. But I go back to the game and I think Luke made a 3 to put us at 3, and then Dylan, of all people,
game time 3.
Dylan the villain.
Yeah.
Makes the game time shot. And
Yeah.
I knew then we had it in overtime. I wasn't tripping
Right,
out there
right.
because young
Yeah,
teams they tend
yeah.
to deflate
Mm-hmm.
once something like that happens.
Yeah.
Cause we did that before at the Grizz,
Mm-hmm.
much
Absolutely.
younger. So I thought it was, I thought it was a great game. We needed it for, I guess, our personal psyche when you consider
Mm-hmm.
all the off the court stuff, which I'm sure we'll get into momentarily. But
Yeah.
but I think beating the Warriors made the Spurs victory that much more important and
Yeah.
sweeter. Especially
Yeah.
now we're currently on a 4 game
Yes,
win
sir.
streak.
3.
So
3 game.
yeah, I believe
Yep.
3. I know for sure 3. And
Yeah.
so that kind of made that like, okay, we good now. So shout out to the Grizzlies, shout out to the bench. I thought we did just enough over the All-Star break. I'm a fan of Luke Kennard. I ain't gonna
Mm-hmm.
hold you. I like him. I
Mm-hmm.
liked him in LA.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm
He
really
playing his role. He
encouraged by
playing
him.
his role. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
playing his role, man. I think one thing that he's doing more now, which is good, is like just shooting. Like dog,
yeah.
like don't wait for the play to develop. Just let that thing go. I mean, he is the best
Let
three
it
point
fly.
percentage player in the whole NBA.
Literally.
Yeah, let
Right,
that thing go. And we know Taylor is not gonna be mad about that because he let
right.
some terrible percentage shooters on
Mm.
our team shoot and say keep shooting. Nah, dog, they don't need to shoot no more, dog. So,
Is that you talking about the youth passer? That's what you're talking about.
oh yeah, he be letting you faster.
And
Look,
for those
man,
who don't get that,
yeah,
uh,
what's his name? John Conchar.
John
Conchar.
Conchar, Jitty.
He looks like,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
we
yeah.
honest with those that's watching, for those that's religious or whatever, he
Yeah,
looks like a youth pastor that you might have seen at a Life
that's right.
Church or a you or something like that.
That's
So
right.
that's
That's
why we
right.
call him Youth Pastor
You
Conchar.
passing because exactly what it looked like. Probably got some flip flops on or something like
Right,
that.
for
Oh
real.
yeah,
But man, speaking of, you brought up the Golden State game, man. I think that was such a good game in so many ways. And one person I want to salute, although last night he got a tech, I ain't even mad about that. Is Dylan Brooks. He has stepped up in the absence of Ja Morant, man. Like he's really
Yeah,
stepped up. You
man.
know, on Saturday when they played Golden State, he hit 4 threes. He was
yeah.
4 for 4 from 3 that game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It was in all they face. You know, Klay
yeah,
Thompson,
I wish we could show
Steph
that one
Curry was
face he
getting it.
did.
Huh?
yeah,
I wish we could show that one face he did against
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Lakers.
yeah. That mean mug face, man. Yeah, I may
yeah,
add it later. That mean
Yeah,
mug face
yeah.
he was doing, man. But big salute to
yeah.
Dilla, man, because I think he's really, although people think he's crazy, he's been providing some real leadership for them in this time. You know what I mean? He's like, yo, y'all follow me. I'm not the best player, but I'm saying like energy-wise, mentality-wise, I think he's lifted the team, man. Period. And also, big salute to Tyus Jones. Tyus Jones been hooping, man. Hooping.
Mm, mm. Now Ty is really, what I'm saying, showing that he can be a starter in the league. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like,
Oh yeah.
and I
Absolutely.
think, and I believe we already knew that, but I think the rest of the country and the rest of the nation kind of really seeing that he a double dude. Like
Yes, sir.
you give him 30, 35 plus minutes, he easily 16 and 10,
Mm-hmm.
20 and 10 or whatever. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Oh
Even
yeah.
with not all the weapons out there, because like we said, we ain't got Steven Adams out there, which he do good in the pick and roll with him and
Yeah.
with BC. He
Yeah.
used to pick up a lot of assists with him. So he's, regardless of who out there, he really doing his thing. And back, Steve, what you were talking about with Dylan, like
Yeah.
you know, I give him the probably, he got the little tech yesterday doing the cheerleader move, you know what I'm saying, doing that
Yeah.
to Theo Pinson.
Yeah.
And, people, you say it's childish or whatever, but that's like, I mean, he is like the Draymond on our team. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
he's
Draymond with
he's
an
the
actual jumper.
agitator. Yeah, exactly. With an
Right.
offensive game,
Yeah.
but just shoot too much. But yeah, he's good.
Still.
He's good for us.
Kobe.
Right.
But he's so comfortable in the skin, bro. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and so I can appreciate that. And so, but then he turns into, I would say, a regular human again once you see his post game interviews. Got his
Yeah.
daughter, because now what I'm saying, he plays his role on the floor, which people may not like. May think he's malicious or whatever, but then it's
Yeah.
off. It's like he's a totally different dude. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, bro, nice game. Hey, we was in between the lines. What happened? What happened?
Yeah.
So that's cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Only thing with Dylan though, I just wish he shot you know what I'm saying, at least 45% from the field. That would to me clear any questions that we would have about him. But since he's such a high volume shooter and shoots such a low percentage, it just messes up the flow with everybody else, with Jaren, with you know what I mean. So, but yeah, shout out to Dylan and Tyus though, man.
Yeah.
I think I think the biggest thing for me that particularly when I saw the Dallas game, and I think I want to say Golden State too. His field goal, like his actual attempts, were low, and because they were low, they were what they were. Like it was I think 7 of 10 the other night, and it was like 9 of 15. Like to me, if he has it in his mind, man, I ain't shooting this ball no more than 15 times a game. If he does that,
12.
I mean, I'm saying 12.
Yeah, 58 little just keep that judge 12. Yeah, I'm with you.
I'll say for sure 12, right?
Yeah.
12, maybe even 13 if you just having a good day.
Right. If you're hot,
it's like if he can just have that mentality, I think we'll see a more efficient Dylan. But when you kind of feel like you can just throw it up at will, you kind of get the 6 of 19s and the 5 of 20s, and you kind of have those inconsistent games. But outside of these guys on technical fouls, because they are racking up now, it's literally every other game. It's a suspension that can cost us playoff time.
Well, it starts over the playoffs. You got to get 8, and then you get the suspensions.
I don't think it continues in the playoff. That would be real unfair.
Now, honestly, man,
I thought that's what happened with Draymond in the final. I thought because he had already had like 15 or something, and then he got that 16th one in the finals. That's why he got suspended that one time. But
that was in the conference. I think that was in the conference final. So it started over in the playoffs. By the time they got to the conference finals, he already had like 4 or 5 or something.
Right.
Something like that. Yeah.
Right. And you know, Draymond gets away with murder, man. This is not a Golden State podcast, but remember Saturday, this man screaming at the top of his lungs at the ref. Think about it. Dylan got a tech last night for
doing this,
but he wasn't doing it to the ref. He was doing it to Theo Pinson. So to me, he shouldn't even get a tech for that. He's not talking to you. This ain't got nothing to do with you, Mr. Ref. You know what I mean? Why is you offended by that? Like
we can't
I feel
have
like
fun on the court.
Right.
Like,
I feel like our team gets picked on a lot for a myriad of reasons. At the end of the day, it comes down to the name on both of me and MK's sweater. It's mainly because of that, in my opinion. The name on JB hat. It's just because of Memphis. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it goes for both teams, as we saw this weekend. You know, there's some of it is just weird. But I say this, man, like last night, man, that was a very good win. I thought they was going to lose that, and I was going to be cool with it. You know, I was like, look, man, they got to be tired. They didn't play 3 games in 6 nights. You know what I'm saying?
3 times, bro.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, they going to have to lose. And they can't – the game was won by the bench. The game was won by Jitty, really not by scoring. Big Santi, Slim Spain, he was hooping, 22 and 14 rebounds.
14.
And Jaren is beast mode right now. Now, me and MK go back and forth who be number 1. I say this in the chat. Y'all going to hear this publicly. In my opinion,
go say it.
I'm going to go on and say it. In my opinion, in the future, our best player would be Jaren Jackson Jr. Now, the most popular player is going to be Ja Morant, right? But I feel like Ja Morant is not too far away from his peak already. I feel like Jaren Jackson Jr. miles away from his peak. And look how good he is now. Like, he just decided, like, within the last 2 weeks, like, oh, I'm bigger than everybody else. Y'all can't stop me. What you going to do about it? And he scored over 25 3 games in a row. He ain't never done that in his career. A lot of NBA players don't do that on a regular other than the premier players. I'm telling you, my man on the way, man. I'm just saying.
Now, the only thing with Tripp, I'm pretty much with you, C, on that. But I think he will do that once I think he learns how to, facilitate a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Through the double teams and getting into that
pass
lane.
out of double team, right?
Yeah. If he get that going, no doubt, it'll be no doubt with that.
But right now,
he won't be doing that because he's not the best player on the team. So I'm trying.
But this is why I say this. This is why I say this. This is not the old NBA. Guards run the NBA, right? But championships are not really won by a great point guard. It's won by a great wing or a big man.
wing.
That's why I'm pushing for Jaren to be it. Like, I know Ja is the most popular one. Ja is the most talented right now. But Jaren is 7 foot tall. He's strong. He's a defensive beast. If his offense comes up and he gets the KG mentality, watch out, dog. Watch out for us.
Let's think about this for a minute, though. To your point, see, look back. I'm thinking way back in the 90s or something.
Yeah,
Like other than Michael was an anomaly.
That's
he
right.
was a guard.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't you put him in his own little category. You can't.
That's right.
You can't put that out there.
Right.
And maybe even Kobe too, because Kobe and him they kind of you know what I mean. But other than them, you know what I mean. You have you got your Dr. J's. You got Kareem. Hakeem.
That's
David
right.
Robinson, Tim Duncan.
Shaq.
Yeah, Moses Malone. Because
Big
Julius
man.
don't win without him.
You can say Steph. You can put Steph in there too. So You got MJ,
He changed
you got
NBA.
MJ, Kobe, and Steph.
Yeah.
Those are 3 pillars of the league.
That's right.
Yeah. And they had to literally change the game.
That's right.
Yeah. So
but even think about this. As great as LeBron is, LeBron is really like Pippen. More so than
sure.
he kind of operate like a point guard, but you remember Pippen was kind of like a point forward, right?
Exactly.
Because LeBron is so big, this dude is 6'9". He's not Steph,
No.
So that's why I say, although I think Ja is awesome, he's fun. He gonna lead the league. Like this dude, like an inch taller than me. You know what I mean? Now, I mean, I was all right in basketball. I'm nothing like Ja Morant. Ja Morant is flying all over the place, but I feel like it's more stable placing it on a big man because. Watch like these last few games. When they kept going to Jaren in the post, what happened? He either got fouled or he scored. Simple. With Ja, it's like, okay, he got to go through all these people and whatever.
Yep.
But like you said, once he learned how to throw out that double team, then it's going to be next level. So I think really, I'm wishing big, but I think he'd be like AD but not getting hurt all the time. I mean, he's been hurt a lot already, but he ain't got to be like full AD.
Nah. But that's yeah. Go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
I mean, AD's a stretch because one thing I will give AD credit on. He's a rebounder,
right?
And even last
night,
I mean, incredible numbers, 31 points. Dude had like 5 rebounds. Like he just, you know what I'm saying? Like he's even without, and these are numbers we're getting without Steven Adams.
That's right.
We just understand that he's not. Matter of fact, I think Ja averaged more rebounds than him, or right there.
No, he don't. He don't. I think Tripp averaged 6.6. I think
6.6, basically almost 7.
Yeah. Ja averaged like 6. Yeah, I think Ja averaged 6.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty close.
Yeah.
Now go ahead, bro.
So I just think, I mean, for me now, if he becomes the best player, I mean, I'm not gonna trip, but I think as much as he can do, we gotta also keep in mind this is like his 6th year in the league.
5th.
And we're just getting this version that we thought we were going to get maybe year 2. We're getting a year.
This is why. And you speaking for the Grizz Nation because it's how a lot of people think. This is why I'm gonna say it. You get spoiled by Ja because Ja is what don't normally happen. Jaren is what normally happens. And what I mean by that, Ja, the 2nd year in the league. No, they was debating Ja as a rookie. Should he be an all-star, right? So those are like superstar dudes. Jaren is the one that got to build to that joint. So that's the thing. The reason I say I think he'll be the best player, he ain't going to be the biggest superstar, but I'm saying the best player, the most important, because when he sit down, you notice it. The moment he got that 5th foul, hey, they got up to 16. He come back in, everything changed. Anyway, man, we ain't gonna stay on that.
Now the most important I give you, but you said best. That's what made me,
Well, I think he will end up averaging. Okay, Ja averaged 27 right now, right? If Jaren gets to averaging 28, number one, Ja ain't gonna average 27 because he got to spread the wealth, right? And what's a more sure bet? That's the thing we got to think about, right? Is it easier for a 7-foot dude that's close to the goal to score? Or a little bitty dude that's flying and dunking on everybody. I'm not saying Ja go down to 22. I'm saying can you go down to 25 and let's get Jaren up to like 27. because the balance will be equal. Like I say, Ja is gonna be the star. I ain't trying to convince y'all. I'm just saying my opinion.
No.
Ja is
I'm with you. Plus,
yeah,
when you going into the playoffs, when you get in the playoffs, everything slow down. Them transition
everything slow
points
down. Right, you got to
ain't
be
gonna
able to
be
play
like
in
that.
that post, and that's a more
Got to.
surefire way to score. And if he's like the one big man in the league that can actually play in the post, because a lot of these dudes can't do post moves, oh, he gonna dominate.
Oh yeah, but I've been telling you, I will say this as we go to the next topic. I've been
Yeah,
saying forever, he gotta, he could be the best. But last year we were saying Bane might be the second best,
we
and
did.
Jaren might have
We
been
did. We
third.
did.
That's
And
right.
I was
Yeah.
saying, if we're
No,
gonna
you
be a
always said it should have been
title
Jaren.
contender,
Yeah,
yeah,
Mhm.
like I
yeah,
said, if we're gonna be a title contender, he
yeah.
has to bare minimum be the second best. Now, if he the best, I'm run with that.
I
But
think I agree with
Jaren
you.
is too good to
Yeah,
not be to be below second best,
yeah. I
especially
think I
like
agree with you.
this year.
I'm with you on that.
Yep. All right, man. Last subject we get into. Ja Morant is back, and we can get into all kind of stuff here. My question on this: one, I'm happy he's back, but what do y'all think about the media coverage that's been happening with Ja all through this process, including today? Because they do this traditional thing at every
Yeah.
win. Somebody goes in the back, not just Ja, but everybody. They say it's a parade in my city. Yeah, that's from a rapper, NBA YoungBoy. But they say that because it's like a championship motto. That's why they say that. And we had the colorful, not skin tone, but colorful Skip Bayless go in on it and try to make it a negative. But not just him though, because we've had a lot of
A lot of other folks.
piss poor. I don't know the other way to say it. Piss poor media coverage of Ja
Yeah.
Morant.
Yeah.
Thoughts,
Yeah.
brothers?
Yeah. Sometimes I actually rock with Skip. Sometimes, like maybe 6 months ago, Skip. Like, but he been on one like literally the last 4 to 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so what he said in a segment today was talking about, saying that the parade in my city, being a rap song, and it's talking about gun violence. Like, is it, like it's just too much. That's one thing. This is a whole nother subject, but just getting into you just making content just to make content. You don't really have an objective point of view. You just out there telling things, just saying things for rating for you to get a bonus or whatever.
Right.
And that's
Yeah.
okay because you got to feed your family. But then
Right.
this also affect other people's real lives and their
Exactly.
money and
Exactly.
their corporate money. And
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
it's
Mm-hmm.
like I get it. On one hand, you making content like, okay, you want to make the best content, but like you got to have a line. And so it's only so many integral people. Like actually like Marcellus Wiley. I think
Mm-hmm.
Marcellus Wiley, you know, he keeps it pretty down the line. He has his own views. It's not, what I'm saying, he's not just doing it for shock value or take or
Yeah.
whatever. And Skip he's probably the king at this point of just doing and saying stuff just for
No.
clickbait because you're gonna get the clicks. And I mean,
Right.
he got pretty much what we want. We talking about him.
He
He
got what
got
he
all the
want.
tweets. You know what I mean? And so it's like I get why he do it, but then, bro, you really affecting somebody else's real life and real corporate money. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just,
Yeah.
what I'm saying, it's just a hater, dog.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
Man, I mean, again, we already are getting the coverage that I mean. Let's kind of backtrack it for a minute. And for me, I'm always gonna see it because I'm a Memphian and I'm forever Memphis
Yes, sir.
and Memphis.
Yes, sir.
Because and I see
No
and
doubt.
because when, and then especially when I travel outside of Memphis and I be hearing what people say about Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, when I see things, I think about the coverage that Penny Hardaway got when he went on his rant.
Mm-hmm.
I think about all the things that kind of even with the whole 2008 finals run that we had in the NCAA tournament and how they were just hammering us. I
Yeah.
think about the stuff that they currently do due to the crime and all these other different things. Now you fast forward and now we have something we've never had, and that's a
Mm-hmm.
superstar. And so now it's like we finna clamor this to the end because now you are embodying everything that we've already said about your city
Mm.
because you play for that city. And
Mm.
so I think because of that, a lot of the criticism, which some of it has been fair. I mean, you can't put just, you can't put yourself in just in dumb situations.
Right.
And I think I like how Shaq said it.
Ja has
It
to be
wasn't a
careful.
mistake,
Let's
it was
just
a
be clear
decision.
with that. You got to be careful
Yeah.
now. More
Real
careful
talk.
than usual.
Yeah. But at the same time, let's not, well, that's Memphis. It's like, well, wait a minute now. Let's
right.
kind of see what's going on with Ja, what's popping off with him, what's causing him to do these things, and then we can answer another question about Memphis later. And so that's kind of the thing that has been, I guess, a little bit bothersome for me.
Yeah.
But, I mean, how many superstars have we seen to get flagged for any dumb mistake they made? I mean, we saw it with Iverson.
Yeah.
And we saw it with Kobe. Lord knows we saw it with Kobe. We saw it with, even with MJ to some degree.
Right.
I mean, I can go down some more people. LeBron, he ain't really did nothing outside of the decision. So it's just so many different things. And 3 of those 4 players I just named was before social media.
Right.
Like before it really took off. So Ja being in the middle of social media, it's just a whole lot that's going to be said. And I kind of like which is why I really love what he said today. How he said he even though I know his social media accounts are back active, he said he's no longer gonna be on Twitter. And so I like the fact that he now realizes now I can get a team to deal with my Twitter and social media.
Of course.
And then I can just kind of be me and live my life.
Yeah.
To me, if anybody is a celebrity, I would really go that route anyways.
Get some burner accounts, Ja. Get some burner accounts, bro.
Right. Like, everybody else got them. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
don't get that burner, bro. I think, overall, man, I think the media in general do not care nothing about Ja Morant. That's my opinion. And I'm gonna be honest. This is why I feel like that. Because the whole time this was going on, you know what I'm saying, it was always a hot button topic, right? Because at the end of the day, the police in Colorado could not charge Ja Morant. Next, the NBA could not charge Ja Morant for having a gun. They could not prove it that it was his gun, right? I'm not condoning the fact that he has a gun, but if the cops cannot prove it, the NBA can't prove it, why is we acting like this man and just pissed away all his money? All his endorsements. You know what I'm saying? We got to be smarter. People like really, really angry, like I can't believe it. And what they got going on in Memphis, it's just a culture of misfits and all that. And what? You know what I'm saying? Like even at one time, Big Perk threw in Bane and Jaren Jackson Jr.
Yeah, dog. Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, it's such a pile-on type thing. You know what I'm saying? Even with Shannon and all that, like, Skip Bayless,
we know that's
one time. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm gonna say this, man, and I know we can't stay on here long. I'm gonna tell you what I believe the reason why it's so painful to folks, and this is a Grizzlies podcast. This is why it's so painful for people, because Ja is doing this in Memphis. Number one, you're not supposed to be good, Memphis. You're not supposed to win nothing. You're in a city that's supposed to be a boo-boo hole, as the world was, people would say. You know what I'm saying? This is a family show, but this is not supposed to be a successful city. Like Flint, Michigan. You're equal with Flint, Michigan. Where they give you bad water. That's where you supposed to be. Number two, you talk crazy. The team talks crazy. Everybody is so offended that they talk. Literally, everybody in the NBA talks crazy. Yes, the corniest comeback ever. And then number 4. I don't know which one I'm on, but listen, the last point here.
Speak it. Yep.
I'm going to tell you why they hate it. Because they win. Because they're scared. They know we're going to win. They know that one day it's going to literally be a parade in our city. They know that, right? Like, and I'm not just popping off like, man, he arrogant and he just, no. This team has lost one of their 2 starters in a premier backup and went 6-1. Right. So while you trashing the city, while you saying the city is bad and Ja's just all out of pocket and what they doing in Memphis, and we can't believe he said he fine in the West. Bruh, it is March. What's the date? It is the 21st, right?
21st.
21st. Yeah.
Where are
Shout out
we
to
at
my
in the
grandma.
standings? Where we at in the standings? We're number 2 in the West. After our star players been suspended for 8 games, been in treatment, been not in rehab, but in treatment, getting mental health checks. After one of our star backups literally blew his Achilles tendon, right?
Yep.
Our big man thought he was coming back, in the week that they thought he was coming back, put him out 4 more weeks. That was the best rebounder in the league. Took us from the number 1 rebounding team in the league to down to 15, and we're number 2 in the West. Ladies and gentlemen, we might literally be fine in the West, and everybody was offended by the fact that he said he's fine in the West, because how could he ever say that to Steph? How could you say that? How could you say that to the living legend of LeBron and Luka? And LeBron and Luka both got L's from the Grizzlies. And LeBron is not even in the play-in, right? Luka just got beat 3 times in a row. And I know Luka didn't play, but I'm just saying, they're below us. Matter of fact,
he didn't want to face Dylan. He didn't want to face Dylan.
Bruh, look at this. The guys that they say we should respect, you should give honor and respect to the 4 title having Golden State Warriors. What seed is they? They're gonna be in the play-in, right?
They're like 9 or 10 right now.
Right.
I think.
So all of us have played basketball, bro. Like me and MKJ, I know we probably play a little bit more. I know my guy JB was into tennis, but listen, all of us has hooped before.
Yeah.
All right. If MKJ was better than me and I was playing, I wouldn't defend him as like, yeah, man, I know you're real good, man. Try to take it easy on me, guy. You know, yeah, man, I know you're a great player. What? Nobody does that. Me and my homeboy Rob Redeem, we best friends. When we play, like we don't literally almost get to fighting, but bro, it's like it's on because it's competition, right? So I just think it's all a farce, man. I think all of this stuff is fake. I think all of it is just crazy, and I think it all comes down to they're not offended that he flashed a gun. They're not offended that the stuff that happened all throughout Memphis. They're not offended that the way he do all this. All they offended by is that he had the I was about to say another word, the gall. But yeah, it mitigated gall to talk crazy to championship teams, and the championship team scream all day it's not a rivalry. But 2 years ago, when the Golden State Warriors were trying to get into the playoffs, they lost to Memphis. We put them out in Golden State with Steph Curry playing. Yes, Clay was hurt. The next year, y'all put us out. It was not a sweep. It wasn't close to a sweep. And y'all lost by literally 50 points in a playoff game without Ja Morant. Miss me with this not even close. My bad, bro. I just had to get it off my chest.
No.
Go ahead, bro.
You had to get it off. I was just about to bring up, y'all, Memphis and Golden State is a rivalry. To your point, to what you were saying, when we beat them in the play-in game, just think about this. That whole conference that they played after Golden State won the championship, you know what I'm saying? Y'all don't want to see us next year.
Right.
Was fueled by us.
That's
because
right.
we lost. They lost in that fashion. So you can literally say Steph got focused and mad and everything else after we beat them in the playing game. If you go back to the 80s and 90s, Michael Jordan was furious when Detroit was beating them and propelled him to the championships because of what Detroit did. So anybody that's saying that this is not a rivalry,
was a one-sided affair too.
Yeah,
Detroit was that was one-sided until the end.
That's right.
Miss me with that. It ain't a rivalry stuff.
It's a rivalry.
It's a rivalry. And I'm gonna say this.
Remember,
go ahead, bro.
Last year, because I love what JB just said about what Curry said. Man, you don't want to see us next year. What happened a year later? Man, you know, Jaren was talking all that noise.
He's a bum.
Round. Like, whoa, wait a minute now.
And they won, and they still talking.
They still was talking. They won. They literally won the championship. They played Dallas, and then they played the Celtics, and they was talking about the Grizzlies. But it's not a rival. Miss me with that. Man. Lies.
Come on,
lies.
Dog. I hate that, dog, because it ain't genuine to me. Because
it's not genuine.
A rivalry has never been okay, you win the championship this year, like that.
It's never
And
like
I think
that.
I said this in the chat. There was an anomaly with the Celtics and the Lakers. That's
Right.
like hardly
Right.
ever
That
happened.
was we
A
ain't
Right.
seen
rivalry
nothing
is
like that
based
since.
upon the dislike of the fans, the fan base, and
Right.
there's true competition and
Right.
hatred between a player or two, or maybe even the whole
Right.
team. It
What
got nothing to do with
didn't
necessarily winning
Indiana and the New
championship.
York Knicks have a rivalry? They didn't.
Absolutely.
It wasn't over championships. They was in the same conference. Literally,
Yep.
didn't Reggie Miller do this in the game, the choking motion,
Yep.
and was trying to holler? I mean, cussing out Spike Lee. It's a
Spike Lee, yep.
rivalry. You know what I'm saying?
Chicago and New York.
Did the
rivalry.
Memphis Grizzlies and the
was
LA
lopsided.
Clippers have a rivalry?
Oh, absolutely.
100%. Right. It's
Ask
between
Zebo.
it's between the players. Yes, it's between the players. So it's just a lie. But what it comes down to, all these sports writers that do this, they're fans of the teams that we be talking crazy to.
Oh yeah.
Check it out. Like, it was one lady that was going in, we don't believe Ja and all that. In her tagline, a dedicated Golden State Warriors fan. So these people got hundreds of thousands of viewers, and they're creating a narrative on Ja. And then, God bless our people, they read headlines. So they don't know. So they believe everything, every little headline comes out. So they going to believe that Ja was rapping that song, at the press conference, well, not the press conference, at the walk-off interview, because it has something to do with guns. They not going to look and say, oh, the Grizzlies do that. They even did that when Ja was gone. They're not going to look at it. And they lead the media. And that is that garbage, man. But anyway, I ain't got to sweating over this stuff. Jeez.
Man, hey, but
Just
that's real
aggravating,
though.
man.
Like, no, it's real because actually I do want to give a salute to actually Mark Spears because he's other than Perk, Perk just be kind of doing some funny stuff sometimes, so it's
Yes,
hard
he
for
do.
people kind of believe him sometimes. But Mark Spears, he's actually based in Oakland, and he's like a reporter or used to be a beat writer back in the day, but he worked for ESPN now, and he was on TV maybe a couple of days ago saying, "No, this is a rivalry, though." Like he said Draymond rolled his eyes at him when he say that, but I'm like, bro, like you can't deny this.
Right.
You can't deny it.
Right. And at the end of the day, if we were so bad, why y'all let us win 2 games in a row? I mean, if you're just so great, if 1, 2, 3, 4, I mean, you still lost. Take that L. Anyway, let's see, man.
And
I
then
think that's about it. Go ahead, bro.
Worse than a rivalry is a rivalry of which your reign is coming to an end.
That's right.
And
that's
the
why the
other
anger.
scary
That's
part.
the anger. That's the
That's
anger.
the scary part for them.
And Klay Thompson has said it. When they beat us on Christmas Day, he said on the walk-off interview, no, we see them and we know they coming. Period.
Yep.
You've never seen Klay Thompson barking anybody. They always been the good boys. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
But they talk crazy.
We ain't gonna say nothing else.
Steph ain't purpose. I mean, Steph ain't perfect. Look, I love Steph. I actually like Steph Curry as a player. I really like him. I like the way he play. But he talk crazy. All of them talk crazy.
He do, bro. He do.
The thing is just they watch us more. Ja is loud, and I hope he stay that way. Now that he's back, I don't want him to be a neutered version of himself. Nah, man, be you. Just cut the camera off, my guy.
Yeah, just cut the camera.
Cut the camera off, my guy. You know what I'm saying?
Get off
Stay.
these devices.
Go out with your teammates. Don't go out with your homeboys. But Anyway, man, any last words, man, before we get out of here, man? We both got other stuff to do, and we don't need no interruptions, man. JB Kids finna take over that camera in just a second.
Man, look, I hear him trying to break through that. Trying to break through the barricade over here, man. All these toys in front of the door. But no, man, like I'm excited. Actually, the Grizzlies this weekend helped me keep my mind off the Tigers. You know what I'm saying?
100%. 100%.
So
100%.
salute to the Grizz.
Yeah.
And moving forward, and like you said, we in perfect position now at the number 2 seed to finish off where we need to go. So we may play Dallas first round, we may play Golden State. You know what I'm saying? The world would love Golden State. I would love the Golden State.
I would
first
prefer
round, to be honest. Yeah,
me
exactly.
too.
So, and I didn't say Dallas because Dallas don't play no defense. So
right. Right.
So either one, but no, man, I'm excited on the rest of the way. I think we got 11 games left, and through them 11 games, I think you know what I'm saying. If we go at least 7-4, and that's probably at the minimum.
Yeah,
we super straight, man.
Man, we winning out. No more.
That boy said we winning.
Hey, no more losing.
That's the end of the season, going into the playoffs. You want to get on that mojo,
yes, sir.
so that's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
I'm good, man. Like I said, look, we good in the West. We good everywhere, man. Memphis,
yes,
man.
Yeah, at the end of the day, hey, this is Memphis, man. anything got to do with Memphis, you cannot expect nobody to be quiet. All of us went to high school, elementary in Memphis, Tennessee. One thing you have to learn in Memphis, I don't care how good, holy, righteous, whatever your religion is, you gonna know how to check. You gonna know. You ain't got no choice. It's a rite of passage in Memphis, Tennessee. Folks gonna talk, guy. Go ahead, MK.
No, that's my, that's the hand.
That's right. That's the second hand. That's the point hand.
That's the hand.
That's right. You got to do it.
Off, I ain't got to say a word.
Right.
I'm finna say a word when the hand is here.
That's Memphis, Tennessee.
Outside of Memphis, I don't know if you get that, but that's us.
That's Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis, big wrestling town. Everybody we gonna talk. Y'all gonna have to get used to it, and we gonna win.
It was crazy. Actually, I was listening to this other podcast, this R&B Money podcast, and Warren Campbell was on there, and he put out there. He's from Compton or Watts or whatever out there. He was like, when you from the West Coast out there, you always about the cheats. What do you call it? He talking about the streets, and he in church. You know what I'm saying? And so you one of the two. But like you said, in Memphis, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you can be, Kojic, charismatic, whatever it is. That's what it is. But we still about the roasting, the Joneses, however you want to,
whatever your city call it. That's right.
It is what it is. It's gonna happen. So, that's just the environment of it. But if people are uncomfortable with that, that's fine. But let that be them. And we just, we keep on rolling, man. Memphis versus everybody, man. For real.
On God. No, with that being said, man, this has been another Grizz Culture podcast, man. It was good to have everybody back. Once again, do what you see on the screen. Go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe so you'll know when we dropping another podcast, man. We'll be back together real soon, man. Hey, we going to be a problem, man. We going to let them stay mad. Let them stay mad because we ain't going nowhere. This podcast or the Grizzlies.
Parade inside our city, yeah.
All right, man. We out of here.